Hi, I'm Frankie, and I kind of feel like I'm 9 years old again a lot of the time. Lately, I've been feeling like we need to do like a lore dump or like a reintroduction. I've just been feeling really like disconnected from this space and really confused about what I'm doing in it. And I just would like to share more and be more of a person here. But I feel like we need to set the scene a little bit. So I'm here to reintroduce myself. Please introduce yourself to me. Tell me a fun fact. I want to feel like a person and I want to know the people. So like I said, I'm Frankie. I live in Texas. I am married to a non-binary angel of a human. You would never know it because I never wear my rings, but I is for Ian. A couple years ago, I moved back into my childhood home to keep my parents from selling it, and now I live with my sister and my mom here, doing intergenerational community, you know? And I feel like in a very real way, I'm still figuring out like things about me that I would have hoped to have known by the time I was like 10 years old because I grew up homeschooled and like heavily religious in this like very limiting environment that like thrived on disconnecting us from ourselves. So my childhood was not like a place of self-discovery. It was like, you know, just a list of rules that I was spending all of my energy trying to perform towards. And it wasn't until I was like 20 years old that I really like started to like wake up and look around and be like, oh, I don't know if I've ever had like an authentic feeling before. I don't really know anything about myself. I just know the character I've been trying to play this whole entire time. And as I started that waking up process, I'm looking around, bird clock, at everybody else my age, and they all have like fully formed senses of self and skills that they've been honing for years and like projects they are working on, like all this knowledge about all these things. Meanwhile, I'm having to go back and like tear down all of the knowledge I thought I did have because I'm like, well, that was trash. Let's start over. The depth of jealousy that opens within me every time I hear somebody talk about how like they're doing the thing they wanted to do as a kid, or like they have this thing that they've been like practicing or working on ever since they were a kid, or like, you know, anybody who is like had a foundation as a child that now has like supported them as an adult. I'm like, what's that like? I just feel like I'm constantly behind everybody, just like scrambling to try and regain lost ground. But after spending so much of my life like so dissociated and disconnected, I'm now like obsessed with presence and with like honesty and like living in a way that is like intimate with life and true, and like finding my way to truths that I can feel instead of truths that somebody else has to like tell me about and teach me and I have to like convince myself to believe, you know? Yeah, I feel like in some ways in this space I found my way into like a teacher vibe when I just feel like I'm like an eternal student, and I feel like I've focused so much on trying to like make content and like only put out things that I feel like are gonna do well and that like match people's expectations, that there's like a lot of the process that I'm in that I'm really excited about that I just like don't share here because it doesn't have like a clear hook. It's not like snappy and concise, you know? But I kind of feel like I want to let go of that and just like share more freely, I guess. I read a lot. I would love to talk about books more here. I actually just today released a like full reading list of all the books that I feel like really represent me and my worldview. It's over there on my Substack. I'm just out here trying to like experience the world and live in a way that like makes sense to me and feels resonant to me. And I feel like that's a process that probably so many of us are in as well, you know? Like I know that I'm not special, that like me feeling like I'm still finding myself at 29 is not like a unique thing, right? But the internet asks us to show up as like people who are something instead of as much of like people who are becoming something, you know? And I just would love for us to be in that process of becoming together a little bit more. I think that's it for today. Again, please tell me things about you. Again, I just really want to feel like a person more here, like a full person, to whatever extent you can on here. Also, I'm currently trying to help Asjad get her family to safety, so if you'd like to help me with that, I would so appreciate it. I feel like this is very rambly and I don't know how to tie it off, but that's like, again, that's what I'm trying to do more here. So, bye.